Well, Greenwood and his wife Caro talking about the loss of their child there. Well, we can talk to Will and Jason now. They reached the North Pole last night and they're at Camp Borne. Will, good morning. Our viewers, congratulations as well. Our viewers have just been seeing you and Caro talking about what it was like to lose your baby, and that's what's driven you to do this. How do you feel now you've accomplished this after 10 days trekking?
Yeah, it was a pretty amazing 5 days up here. We set off Sunday with no real understanding of what we were about to encounter due to the Special Forces boys. We were led by Alan Chambers and Wayne Hoyle, and of course Jason Fox, who was a preterm kid himself at 31 weeks back in 1976. And the fear and trepidation amongst the amateurs was tangible as we jumped on this sort of Russian plane that looked to be held together with plywood. And then we landed at the Russian base camp Borne, straight onto a helicopter, and we were dropped about half a degree from the North Pole. We were intending to do the full degree, but a few weeks ago there were problems with the helicopters. One crashed. So they had to find another company, which really reassures you before you head to the North Pole. So they dropped us about half a degree. Alan Chambers put his stick in one direction, set off walking, and we walked behind him. And for the next 4 nights, we set up camp about 6 o'clock every evening, dived into shared tents, ate some food, got back up at 6 o'clock in the morning. The amazing thing is I'll never moan again with my kids. And it takes us longer than half an hour to get out of the house. Because Alan would say, we need to leave camp by 10, but can you all be up at 6? Because it takes 4 hours in those temperatures to get between tents, to prepare food, to get your kit ready, to pack your sled up, to put your skis on, to get your mitts in the right slot, to get your spare mitts in the right slot, to get your merino wool hat, your balaclava, your gloves, your outside layer, your inside layer, your long johns, your socks, your second pair of socks, your hand warmers and all your treats that you basically stop every 2 hours, sort of shuffle back on your skis, sit on your sled, stop for 15 minutes, and the second you sit down, Alan says, you're off again, and you go again, and you do sort of 4 or 5 lots of those each day, and you get closer and closer. You put one foot in front of the other, and it was interesting. It was quite a tough listen there on the phone to Caro's interview for me. I'd sort of been emotional yesterday, and I listened to that, and I found it quite tough a couple of days ago. And the sun was basically normally on our left as we walked, and as you got towards the end of the day, it found itself in front of you. So you sort of knew when you were getting towards the end of the day, when you could see the sun in front of you. When the sun was on my left, it was casting a huge shadow of myself walking on the right-hand side. And it might, well, I don't know how it sounds, but I looked right when I was struggling at one stage. I saw this giant shadow. I just thought it was Freddie, and I just thought he was saying, go on, Dad, dig in, put one foot in front of the other. You're freezing cold, but you know you're raising a bucket full of cash for Mark Johnson, who is a living saint. And with that bucket full of cash, he might be able to do something really special when it comes to preterm labour and mums and parents leaving hospital with what they went to hospital leaving for. And I'll sort of finish before I hand on to Jason with the words Caro has used for the past 15, 16 years when we've talked about Freddie. She sort of said those words, what we heard on the 19th September, there's nothing we can do. She just wants to try and do a little bit so that in the future maybe some doctors can say to a mum at 20 weeks, 21 weeks, there is something we can do. And that's what sort of inspired me and a lot of the team who for their own individual reasons are here and have trekked to the North Pole.
Will, your comments will resonate with a lot of people who've been through similar things that you and your family have. I think you're going to... I'm not sure how this is working in practice. I'm trying to think of the picture of where you are. You're handing the phone now, I think, to Jason, and hopefully we can speak to Jason now. So, Jason, well done. Congratulations. And I just pick up on some of Will's thoughts there. When you're on these kind of trips, and it's obviously very hard work what you've been doing, humour gets you through. You must have been very mindful of the roller coaster of emotions that Will has just described, where your thoughts are, about your family, about what's happened and why you're doing it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a place I've been in a lot of times. Obviously not on the ice camp. This is the first time I've been there, but it's definitely a place where you're sort of left to your own devices. Even if there's people around you, you know, they're in the same space as you are, but you're on your own, for want of a better phrase. You're literally just plodding on, taking your mind into places that allow you just to plod on. You can think about things. You can cleanse your mind of stuff that's in there. I find it therapeutic being in these sort of places.
And so, on a slightly lighter note, I know that humour often gets people through difficult circumstances. What happened along the way?
What happened along the way that was funny? I fell over a few times. Everyone fell over a few times. We all laughed at each other, laughed at ourselves. No one set the tent on fire, which was fortunate because I was cooking in one of them. But yeah, it's like just watching people trying to get changed in a small space, confined. They're obviously not used to it. To be honest, there was a lot of funny moments. But what I will say is, the whole team, people that turned up looking very, very apprehensive, coming into an environment they've never known anything about, looking very uncomfortable. They adapted very quickly, and I put that down to the fact that they knew why they were there, and also the fact that they needed to adapt quickly. And when you need to do something, you'll do it, and they did it, and it was an amazing experience and unbelievably great effort all round.
Well, look, Jason, thank you so much for taking a bit of time out for us, and Will as well. Good luck, and have a safe journey home, and we congratulate you on your achievements.